And whenever we have a guest on, so we typically have Mr. Potato all the time, or Kennethan, and sometimes both of them. But whenever we have a special guest on like Crimson, we like to make sure we take an opportunity to kind of hear their stories. For a lot of you guys, you haven't met Crimson because you've been on the scene recently. But as we said from the top, he's our only 3-timer that's ever been on the show before. And so he's actually gone through a lot of life changes, even just between the last 2 times we've had him on the show. So we want to ask him 2 questions today and let him fill the time with however he wants to answer them. The first is how he came into a personal knowledge and saving faith with Jesus Christ. And number 2, what does he do nowadays, and how does he got involved in content creation and being on shows like this? And so, yeah, and get a life update of where you're at. So Crimson, we're going to turn it over completely to you, and you can take it away right now.
Yeah, that's a dangerous thing to do, is to give it to me. Yeah, so I've had a very short, interesting life, but I was privileged to be born into a Christian home, and I was homeschooled all the way from kindergarten through 12th grade, completely through. Went to Bible college. I was saved at the age of 4 years old, and I remember that very distinctly, that I was, we had various different portions of our homeschooling. Some of them were on video. Back then it was cassette tape. Woo, what's that?
Yeah, right?
Yeah, some people today be like, huh? But the Bible lesson time was on cassette tape. I guess that was so Mom could either go do laundry or cry. Not sure which one, depending on that time of day. But we got to do that, and the Bible lesson was on Nicodemus talking to Jesus about being born again. And that clicked in my head, and I went to my mom, and I was like, I need to be saved. So 4 years old, started that journey in relationship with Jesus Christ, and have gone all the way through that life. Grew up moving through several different churches. I grew up Baptist, independent fundamental Baptist. More on that in a few moments. But that was my growing up, my background, which I'm thankful for in a number of ways. But went to college. Short version of the story is that's where I met my wife. We got married after I graduated, and traveled in music ministry to various different churches around the Midwest. Even a couple in Canada, with my brother, my wife, and his wife. We did music. We did Southern gospel music, if anybody knows what that is anymore. Not a lot of people do. People go, so what is that? And I'm like, well, take country and throw Jesus in it. And I guess that's pretty much it. But we did that. I played piano, did stand-up, and ventriloquism, a lot of different things. Then in 2016, God called me and my wife out of that to go work with youth. We came off the road, found a church, started working with the youth in 2017. And we were at that church until just this past year. And I felt God kind of for a long time moving a lot of different things in both my heart and my wife's heart. We both were kind of like, yeah, there's some things we're looking at here. And a lot of it had to do with the independent fundamental Baptist King James only standpoint. I don't have any hatred for that background. I have a lot of love and respect for my family, my parents, and a lot of people that I grew up being around with that stuff. But I felt God kind of revealing some inconsistencies in some of the logic and the explanations of things. And at the time we're in a church that was very inwardly focused. There was a lot about, let's have the people who are here. We're going to, do super deep dives down to the very depths of the earth in Bible stuff. How does that apply to you? We don't know, but we're going to go study it anyway. And there was not a lot of outward reach. And that's really what I think we ought to be focused on first, is reaching out and then discipling. And that was just something that we looked at. We're like, And then again, that King James only standpoint, the more I looked into it, the more I researched things about it, the less I agreed with it. So we felt God moving that. And then also at the same time, I felt God calling me to look for, step out and look for full-time youth work. I've been a volunteer youth pastor for about three and a half years. So in the middle of all those things happening together, we came, and in the middle of July of this year, we stepped out of our church and started looking for that full-time youth work, which God has yet to bring into my path. So I don't doubt that he told me to move and look for that, at least as a means to get me out of where I was and into new things.
Yeah.
Because with that development and change and growing in those ways of kind of leaving behind some old traditionalism and moving towards what does God actually want from me and from my family, and what does all that look like, and all these things, we wouldn't be able to do any of that where we were before.
Yeah.
So we had to move and leave. Again, no animosity or hatred to anybody back there. It was just time for us to do something else.
Yeah.
So now we've come into a new church. It's totally different from any place we've ever been before, and is awesome. We love it. We just started working with the middle school students in a volunteer capacity a couple weeks ago, and that's been a lot of fun, been a blessing, and been a whole new growth point there.
Super cool.
So that's kind of where we are with that. As far as the content creation goes, that is actually somewhat tied to that story in a way. A couple of years ago, I got to think, I just celebrated 2 years of doing this now. So it was 2018, I guess. Yeah, back up 2 years, smart guy. Yep, 2018. I actually had originally started streaming just kind of for fun, just for the heck of it, playing games on my Xbox and streaming. But at the time, I didn't have like a big purpose to it. I just wanted to do it and do it for me. So it was kind of in the way of other things like family and some stuff, and I didn't have a right spirit about it, and so I was just like, yeah, you know what? I think I need to quit this. And then later I kind of felt God got this idea in my head about, well, why don't you do that as a way to, you know, share Jesus with people? And at the time, I didn't know there was anybody else doing that. I thought
Right.
that I would be the only one. I was like, man, this is going to be weird, but it could work, could be cool. So I started that up, got into it, started finding all sorts of other people. I'm trying to remember, Jay, when you had me on your What's for Lunch.
Yeah, that was before we even had humor. That was in my first year. That was in 2017 or 2018, I think. I want to say. I think it was that same year. Well, no, it couldn't have been. It couldn't have been, because I've been on for 4 years now. I think we just celebrated 4 years on Twitch.
Okay.
So it had to be in 2017, I want to say. Yeah, because I don't think you were even streaming at that point. Like doing it. But yeah, it had to be 2017, 2018 maybe?
It must have been 18, because that's when I started, and I'd only been going for a few months.
Yeah.
If that. And I was like, oh my goodness, I get to be on somebody else's show. This is so great. I was like a giddy little schoolgirl. So that was fun. Yeah. But yeah, it's just progressed from there and gone various different directions. Started out strictly on my Xbox, then slowly moved to Xbox plus crummy laptop, and slowly upgraded things from there. But it's always been with the focus of telling other people about Jesus and using video games as a way to pull people in to talk about that. And I've had various different struggles in my mind along the way. You know, I don't think you're an actual content creator if you haven't thought about quitting at least 3 times this week.
Yeah, so, at least.
Yeah, at least 3 times.
Facts.
So, you know, it comes and it goes in waves of different things, but it's always been about, for me, it's always helped that it's not because I'm trying to be famous, because I've been going for 2 years and have just over 700 followers, which is great. I'm not complaining, but that's like, if my goal was to be rich and famous by now, I have failed. So, right. But that's not the point of what I'm doing. It's to try and share Jesus with other people. And I've had a lot of great conversations and interactions with various different people. Met a lot of you guys. And that's also, I think, what helped influence this recent change from traditionalism to something a little bit more relevant and real, I think, was because I would see, you know, a lot of you guys getting together and studying the word together and things in GMA and stuff like that, and you guys getting together. It's just like, wait a minute, is that allowed? Can we do that? So I saw Jesus more real in a lot of your guys' lives than he was even in mine, or in a lot of things that I was looking at, and I was just like, I think I might be missing something here. So that was I believe God really did use that as a partial motivator to help me with some of that stuff. But actually, recently I've gotten more into YouTube content creation, because it's kind of one of those things that they always tell you should be doing anyway. But at the same time, I recently, thanks to Rona, had to get a new job. Used to work from home, and I could kind of set my schedule hours just about however I wanted to. So I could do a lot of different things. But now I've got a job where I install HVAC equipment, and it's like you start work at 8 a.m. and you're done when you're done. So you might be done at 2, you might be done at 6. You don't know.
Yeah.
It's hard to have a set schedule like that. So that, and in the interest of growing and expanding and reaching out and reaching more people, I've started doing more YouTube stuff lately, which I'm enjoying a lot. A lot. It's been a ton of fun. So yeah, all that being said, I think it's something that I hope and pray God's using. I've seen him do a lot of positive things with it, and I'm excited to see where he takes it next and how all of that works out. So it's been a wild ride so far.
For sure.
And then also, I guess the next biggest life change that I've just announced on Facebook and Twitter and everywhere else.
Literally like an hour before the show started.
Yes. We just found out yesterday that the Crimson household is having our second child. So we excited about that. Yeah, there you go. There's some hype. We're excited. So we'll see what God does with that too. But it's been a wild ride. We can't wait to see where it goes from here.
Yeah, that's super cool. That's super exciting. It's been really cool, Crimson, to like hear your story and just to kind of see God continue to progress and use you and just develop. Like you are the poster child in my mind of like so many things. One, for like any children's ministry pastor, for Pastor Dewson, for anybody, right? Like 4 years old can somehow comprehend and understand, like the basics of the gospel, the need to be saved, the need for Jesus, and that you can come to a real saving faith in him. Like that's super cool. You've also been someone who has pursued their dreams in music and ventriloquism. I don't know the proper term for that, but
there is one. Don't worry about it.
Okay, good. Whatever. In playing with puppets, you've gone and done that.
That's not the proper term, I'll tell you that. Ain't it?
But then also just to kind of see, your content creation and what you've done so far, and like you said, it's not about being famous or being rich with it, but it's about being able to share the truth of what Jesus has done in our life, with other people, which is super, super cool. So guys, what we like to say here is that everyone here is valued and loved. We are part of that same mission that Crimson talked about today, to let people know that they're valued and loved, not just by us, not just by this community, but most importantly by God. So we encourage all people to pursue that, to look at what that means, to really dig in, to learn what that means. Don't just think that you have an understanding, but go deeper with it. And even don't be afraid to admit where maybe what you've learned or what you've known has been wrong. Again, another thing that Crimson, not in a bad way, I'm not trying to like give him a backwards, or what's it called, a backhanded compliment here, but like his story of what he's saying is like, hey, there are some things that he grew up with that he's very thankful for that he learned in his life, but then also is like, okay, is this just what I've grown up in, or is this really true? And so to be able to continue to pursue that, something I've done that's happened in my life, Mr. Matato's life, I'm sure, and something that we continue to do and go, hold up, as we continue to follow God and go, is this true, or is this just what I'm comfortable with and what I know? And so, I encourage all of us to continue to do that. But part of how we show people that they're valued and loved is by actually showing up and being a part of their lives. That's why our DMs are open for you guys, and vice versa. You can meet these guys and talk to some of them, check out some of their other content. So Crimson, you kind of mentioned your YouTube channel. Do you want to maybe post a link or share that? What could the good people expect to find? What are they going to see coming up next?
Yeah, let me go grab the link real quick because I don't have a custom link that I can just type. So let me grab it. Boom. Here we go. Okay, I think this is the right one.
I might have to mod you first. Hang on. Mod at Crimson. There you go.
Okay. Let's try it.
Post it now.
Booski. There we go.
There's the link.
Okay, so we're at 40 subs right now, I think, which is pretty cool. I've only been doing this for longer than I thought, 3 months at least. But I'm pushing that a lot more because
41 now.
Yay, thanks, buddy. I really want that to be something. I enjoy the the editing process of that. It's a lot of fun. I almost enjoy the editing more than I enjoy recording for it, so it's really entertaining for me. But being able to, I also, in every YouTube video, I put a verse of the day, just like I do on every stream. So we talk about something from the Bible, even for just a couple of minutes in each one. And because that's what it's all about. It's if somebody clicks on a video because it looks like a fun game, and then they hear something about God and the Bible in it, gotcha. But that's kind of the point. Yeah. Exactly. So it's been really cool to do that, and I'm putting more and more focus on that. Not like leaving Twitch or anything, but I stream Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays right now. Fridays and Saturdays are like game days. Sunday is a Bible study day, and then YouTube videos go out on Mondays. So
super cool.
That'll be,
awesome. Well, thank you again for being on, man. I know you've taken away time from your family and from being able to do literally anything else with your life right now to be here on the show and to get sweaty with us. So guys, please go show him some love. Through both of his links are in there, his YouTube channel and his Twitch channel as well. So go and check that out. Mr. Potato, what about you? Where can the good people find you, and what do you got going on next?
So I'm taking a little bit of a hiatus from Twitch and stuff. You still feel free to follow me, because when I come back, it'll be pretty strong. Just taking a little hiatus, spending time focusing on family. And we're raising 3 rambunctious boys, and so it is crazy, especially with all the school stuff. But also I've been working behind the scenes on some YouTube stuff, so I'll be on there, and all the link is all connected to my Twitch account.
There you go.
But yeah, so that's where you can find me.
Yeah, perfect. Well, awesome, guys. And then you can keep it locked in here. We're going to keep streaming. We got some new videos coming out later this week, but I want to hang out after the show and just talk with you guys. See what you guys have planned for your weekend and all of those good things. But we're going to let these guys go right now in a second, so we'll give them one last little look here. And as we do, Mr. Potato, would you mind praying for us and closing us out this morning's show?
Definitely. I would love to. Guys, let's just pray real quick. Lord, thank you for today. Thank you for giving us this awesome time and opportunity just to get together and just to really just hang out and help build community. Lord, I pray that we could be a light to the darkness. Lord, I pray for every single person that's here. I pray that, hopefully we planted some seeds. Lord, I pray for trolls. I pray for everyone that's in chat, Lord, that you would just bless them and that you would show them who you are, Lord. And I pray as we go out of here that we would just be a great example of you, and we would just go out here sharing the gospel, and that we'd be unashamed. Lord, I pray all this in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Yeah. All right. Well, we're going to let these guys go. You guys keep it locked here, and we'll be back in just a second. Thank you guys so much for being on today. All right. Appreciate you guys. Be right back.
See you guys tonight when we play Left 4 Dead.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, later.
See ya.